Okay, so today we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and big topic is the same. We live in Lashon Hara. Okay. And today's topic is expressing frustration. Okay. We have learned that speaking negatively for the sake of one's own emotional well-being is acceptable from acceptable form of constructive speech. It is reasonable for one to express anger and frustration about the individual, about an individual to one's parent, spouse, or mentor to obtain sympathy, reassurance, and advice. And it is an obligation of the listener to provide such support. Thomas, could you please put us on mute, the microphone? Okay. Well, whenever you have chance, just please touch the microphone. Okay. All right. So let's see. So we spoke before, right? So if somebody needs your advice, need to speak out, whatever is going on in this person's life. So as we said before, it is allowed to let him talk, let her talk. But one thing that we are not allowed to believe them. We're not allowed to believe. Thank you. Believe 100% what they say is true. That's the thing, right? What else? So okay. So I mean, as we said before, don't make it don't allow them to be a habit. Like every time it's a new frustration. Okay, so you have to analyze the situation and try to help them to work on it to resolve the issue. However, in such a situation, even in such a situation, the listener may not decide on his own in his own mind that the report is true. Especially, I would say, like if a person on another side, it's very emotional, right? And he or she is telling you whatever happened. And many times when a person is emotional, they would make up details, right, to make it more dramatic. So of course, we're not allowed to believe 100% to the story. For as far as he concerned, the information is only secondhand, right? So I mean, for the listener, is secondhand. It is therefore imperative that the following understanding exists between those who take part of such discussion. Okay, what is understanding? Halacha permits one to occasionally let off the steam. Okay, so all of us have these occasions when something happened and we are frustrated and possible, right? So we are allowed to let off the steam. Of course, we have to, on the other hand, we have to work on ourselves and not to put ourselves in this situation when somebody would bother us so much, right? But we're humans and it happens, right? And one more time. Halacha permits one to occasionally let off the steam and express his frustration to someone else. However, it is obvious that one who is involved in a disagreement at the point of anger or consider himself a victim or verbatim abuse lacks the ability to be objective. So in this person's mind, he's a victim and the whole world is against them. Everybody hates them and everybody is not fair. And he or she is going to express the situation in these terms. So we're not allowed to believe. Any negativity expressed under such circumstances is to be understood as a description of the speaker's feelings, and not as accurate account what actually took place. So it's feeling, not what happened. Not actually. And it happened to me just recently. There is one person who I thought like a logical person. And he told me whatever he told me. And then when I repeated back to him how I understood, he said, absolutely not. That's not what I meant. I said, but that's what it is. And I sent him his voice recording. He said, oh, no, I apologize. I thought I was thinking about something else. You understand? But in my mind, I had only that information. I derived the conclusion based on information he provided. And it happened to be not true. Very interesting. In this way, a husband and a wife or close friends can rely on one another for emotional support without transgressing the laws of proper speech. So, but still, all of the laws of constructive speech applies. Husband or wife, between parents, children, between siblings, does not make any difference. Okay, so we stop here. So we continue Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we are on Siman number 32. And the topic is protecting one's health through natural means. Okay. And halacha number 12. If somebody's following, it's page 348. Okay, paragraph 12. Siman. Safe. Another factor to consider during the meal. So we're talking about meals, right? So before the last halacha, just to remind us, we said it's proper for one to accustom himself to eat bread for breakfast, right? And it's actually from Gemara Brachas, I think it does not say, but that it's a big blessing to eat. No, it's not from Brachas. Sorry, it's from Baba Mitzvah. So it says it's a big blessing to eat bread for breakfast during the breakfast. Gives you strength and save you from many diseases. Okay, so number 12. Another factor to consider during a meal is that the central food, certain foods should be eaten in a specific sequence. Here, Kitzur describes how it is achieved. One who wishes to eat variety of foods should begin with a type of food that loosens bowels. Okay. However, this food should not be eaten together with the rest of the meal. Rather, one should wait briefly between the two courses. Okay, so first, like something to lose bowels. So what is it? Similarly, we're going to explain. Similarly, when eating different foods, one should always eat the lighter food first, because it is more easily digested. For example, poultry should precede the consumption of the animal meat, and the meat of the small animals should precede the meat of the large animals. Things that cause the intestines to exert themselves should be eaten right at the end of the meal. And one should not eat too much of these foods. So this heavy food, so all right, so let's try to understand what Kitzur is saying. So first we start with the light foods, right? What is light foods? Like salads, right? That's what people say. They eat salads, they eat fish. Fish is a light food, right? And they eat soups, also light. And then they go to the more heavier food. If you have chicken, you eat chicken. After that, you eat meat, if you have meat. I mean, okay. But as Kitzur is saying, there is some heavy food. So what is a heavy food? I would say red meat is very heavy food. Or some like hard cheeses are very hard food for a stomach. Okay. So continue. Number 13. So we go from light to heavy. Okay. Number 13. Since the digestive process begins in the mouth, when the teeth grind up the food, and it is mixed with saliva, therefore one should not swallow any food without chewing it first. For if the food is not properly chewed, then the stomach is burdened with accomplishing all the digestion itself. Right? So it's known fact when somebody is in a rush, especially kids, right? When they're hungry, and sometimes adults, right? They come, I don't know when. Maybe I would say the Pesach is coming. So by the time we come to the meal, right, on a Seder night, it's very late. It's maybe 10 p.m. I was maybe even later, right? So we come to the meal until we say all the Hadagada, until we do all of the things. So people sometimes they like because they've been hungry, and some people fast, right? There is a fast of the firstborn, right, on Erev Pesach. So if somebody is a firstborn and they ate and they just drink 1 cup of wine or grape juice, and they eat a little matzah, a little more. So I mean, they're very hungry. So they start eat very fast without chewing. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. It's very heavy for the stomach, and they have stomach aches and stuff like that. So it's not good. So Kitzur said you have to chew it properly. Next halacha number 14. We have already mentioned that the people differ in their constitution. Every person should choose based on a doctor's advice foods that are most appropriate for his constitution in his location and his time. So when we were learning Hilchot Deot of Rambam, so somebody asked the question, so how do you know as a doctor? And I told this person that not always asking doctor is the best option, right? Many times you just have to like observe your body, how your body reacts to this food. I mean, that's the best advice, right? I mean, the best thing to do. Whatever doctors would give you the general knowledge, the food good or not good, that's what Kitzur say. But different people have different constitution, have different health issues. So you have to take everything in consideration. So your body is the best barometer, I guess, right? Generally speaking, early medical authorities divide all foods into different categories. There are some foods that are extremely harmful, and these foods should never be eaten. So just because something is kosher does not mean that you have to eat that just because it's kosher, right? Like I was in this butcher store just recently, and somebody was buying this piece of meat. It's so fatty. I don't know what they're going to do with such a fat meat. I'm not sure. Like, and the guy was very happy to get this piece. I don't know, right? I mean, maybe it's tasty, but for sure it's not. It's not good. It's not healthy. Okay, some examples of such a food are as follows: large salted fish that have been aged, salted cheese that have been aged, truffles and mushrooms. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So salted fish, in olden days, the only way to preserve meat, right, or cheese would, meat, cheese, like everything basically, or fish, is to salt it like a lot, to put a lot of salt on, right? And then when the time would come to eat it, so they would soak it in the water. And I don't know for how many hours, maybe 10 hours, because it's a lot of salt. And then they were able to cook it. So kids are saying this aged fish, because it's been laying around for a long time, it turned this salt, turned this fish into a piece of rock, basically, right? So until it's salted for a long time, it's not edible, right? Salted cheese. Same with cheese. I mean, in Israel, they sell this cheese. I like the cheese. I know it's not healthy, but it's very tasty. It's like it's hard as a rock, basically. It's cheese, very salty, very unhealthy. But a few times a year, maybe once a year, you can eat it, right? Salted cheese that has been aged, truffle and mushrooms. Okay. Salted meat that has been aged. So same as meat, they would salt meat for preservation for a long time, right? So because they didn't have refrigerators, of course, and as I say, it's not. It's especially when it's old meat and a lot of salt, not good. Next one, and wine that comes straight from the press. This has not the time to age at all. So this fresh wine that come from the press, so it's not. We'll learn about it, but I don't exactly remember. It's not like it's just squeezed, right? When you squeeze, it's not one yet. It's like a grape juice, but it could be this too. I'm not sure. Grape juice that we buy in a store, it was pasteurized, right? It was boiled and stuff like that. But a few times when we didn't have like we were somewhere away, and there were no grape juice, so we just bought grapes and squeezed them and to make a kiddush. Right? That's but it's like exceptional situation. Okay. Continue. Any cooked food that has remained uneaten until it has produced a pungent odor. So we have to understand, in olden days, the food was so expensive and was so hard to get, and it was without refrigeration, it would spoil very quickly. So people would smell the food and sometimes would eat, even it smells little, but still tastes okay, so they would eat it. That's one of the blessings that HaShem gave us is a sense of smell. So if you're not sure where food is good, maybe it tastes okay, but if you smell it does not smell good, so don't eat it. Right? Continue. Or any other foul smell or bitter food. So bitter food never good. Unless they processed and now they're not as bitter, like horseradish, right? It's not as bitter as a fresh one. Okay, continue. Has a poisonous effect on the body and therefore should not be eaten. So all of these foods that we just mentioned should not be eaten. Why? Because it's poison. Okay, the person is not going to die, but it's going to damage his body. Continue. There are other foods that are also harmful, but they are not as harmful as those mentioned earlier. Therefore, it is proper that one eat these foods only in small quantities and very infrequently. So as I said about this cheese, so I knew about this cheese, this hard cheese, that it's very unhealthy, right? And this cheese they sell, they call it Swiss cheese, right? With the cheese with the holes. It's very tasty, but I think it takes 6 months or a year or more than a year. I don't remember, like a very, very long time to produce this cheese because it has to age and stuff like that. So this cheese is also not healthy. So only cheeses they say are healthy or okay, like they would make it in a month, I think, like 3 weeks, 1 month, 4 weeks or so. Those are very soft cheese, there is no problem. But these hard cheeses, there is a problem. They're tastier, but more harmful to the body. Okay. So these foods, we're going to list them now. He has to eat only in small quantities and very infrequently. One should not become accustomed to rely on these foods for his regular sustenance, nor should these be included in his meals on regular basis. Examples of foods that should not be eaten regularly is large fish and cheese. So large fish is a problem. I think when we eat tuna, so the tuna even you buy in the cans, but it comes from a huge fish. It could be one of these examples. Okay. Salmon. So if you buy salmon, it's not. They're not big. Okay. And cheese, as we said. Milk that has remained for more than 24 hours after it's has milk from a cow. Okay. So let me see the commentary. Presumably, Kitzur refers to milk that has been left unrefrigerated, unpasteurized. Of course. So in olden days, and in the different countries till this day, right? They milk the cow and they sell the milk as it is, right? They don't do anything and don't add any preservations and stuff like that. So, but where we live, so they of course they would pasteurize it and adds preservatives. I don't know, the kill of the bacteria. So there is no problem. So the milk like that is, it can be. You can store it in a refrigerator maybe for 3 weeks. It's not going to spoil. But if you don't do anything to the milk, you You don't boil it, don't pasteurize it, and stuff like that. So they say more than 24 hours, for sure it's bad because of all of the bacteria in there. Continue. Meat of the large bullocks and goats. So all of these large things, large bulls and large goats, it's very old. So it's of course it's better to get meat from the younger animals. Okay, continue. Bread made of barley. Okay, so bread made of barley, I guess it's very heavy. That's my guess. I never tasted like bread made of barley. Like it was some additional barley, maybe I don't know, maybe 25%, 20%, but never from pure barley. Probably very heavy. Next one, unleavened bread. So matzah that we're going to eat on Pesach, it's very unhealthy. So many people have stomach issues, and many people simply like suffer throughout the Pesach because of this matzah. Okay. Unleavened bread, cabbage also because it's like giving a lot of gas, grass. So all of this. People say that it's good food. This what is it? All the lettuces. It's not. Onions. So onions are today like I think they have species like they call a Spanish onion, right, which is sweet. So this is they're not sharp at all. It's different. Garlic, also in a moderate quantity. I mean that's exactly what we say. It is. Harmful, but not as much. Mustard, also, radishes. These are all harmful foods. So all of this that we say, harmful foods, but if you eat them infrequently in a small quantity, no problem. Continue. Therefore, one should eat these foods only if in exceedingly small quantities. Furthermore, or cooked, I would say if you use the onions or garlic for cooking, so this cooking is going to block the taste, right? The sharpness, not the taste, but the sharpness, so it will not be as harmful. Therefore, one should eat these foods only in exceedingly small quantities. Furthermore, even when they are eaten, they should be eaten only in the winter. Right, as we said before, so all of the sharp foods that raise up the temperature of the body of the person. So of course, don't eat them in a summer, right? Eat them in the winter to keep you warm. But in the summer, they should not be eaten at all. So all of this food should not be eaten at all. Why? Because it's hot enough. It's stressful enough for the body without these foods. Okay. So continue, Sieve number 15. And it says, there are yet other foods that are harmful, but not as harmful as those listed above. They are waterfowl, geese and ducks. Okay. Yeah, so these geese and ducks, I think it's because they're very fat. That's my guess. I tried them maybe a few times in my life. And it's like the taste is totally different from chicken, and they're very fat. I mean, okay, they're fat. Continue. Young pigeons. Okay. I'm not sure what is the problem with pigeons. Not sure. Does not say. Dates. Okay, maybe it's too much sugar. Bread that was kneaded in oil. Bread that was kneaded in oil, I guess it's because it's very rich. I mean, people add some oil, not knead with oil, but add some oil. I'm not sure, like maybe a few tablespoons, no more. Okay, continue. And flour that has been sifted sufficiently to the point that is now no trace of grain remains. So all of this, how a white flour, all of these things, it's very harmful, right? It's not good. So that's why people buy whole wheat flour, right? Or they buy bran and mix it into the white flour. That's what we do. It is not proper to eat large quantity of this food. So basically, this white bread, so everybody knows it's not healthy, even the children know. Right? Okay, so all right, so continue. So continue. So Sif number 16. Well, let me know if any questions. Otherwise, we continue. I mean, I think this chapter is straightforward. A person should always hold himself back from eating too much of the fruit of the trees. Exactly. And one should not eat too many of them, even if they are dried fruits. And certainly in abundance of the moist, there is fresh fruits, are to be avoided. However, before they have sufficiently ripened on a tree, they are as harmful as a sword that pierces the body. So let's try to understand. So first of all, many people think that the fruits are good and it's very helpful for the body. Healthy? No, it's not. I mean, one fruit, two fruits, but no more. Like when people start eating this, I don't know, doesn't matter, any fruit. So it's not healthy. Even apples, right? Okay, one apple you ate, when you eat two apples, especially the sour apple, it's not good, right? And they say very interesting. Even the dry foods also have to eat in moderate quantity, and unripened food, as they say, it's like as harmful as a sword piercing the body. That's what it is. And in many times when you buy the fruit in the store and it looks so perfect, so delicious, and then you buy and you come and it's completely not right. Why? Because they would pick it before it's ripened, right? And because it still look very good, very presentable, but the taste is not good. Right? I experienced many times, especially with peaches, not good. There are certain fruits that are always harmful, such as carob. Okay, I mean, by Astra, they sell carobs. When did they sell carobs? I think before the Rosh Hashanah, like, I don't know, a few times a year, they only sell carobs. Okay. So in the story of the Talmud is the cheapest food, right? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and his son Rabbi Eliezer ben Shimon were eating this food because it's like the cheapest free growing, but these people they charge a lot of money for this food. Okay, so but it's for sure it's not good. Any sour fruit is harmful as well. So sour, what is the sour fruit? Maybe apples, sour apples. I don't know, oranges are not sour. Oh, there's a fruit. I don't know if you ever tasted. There is a food called passion fruit. So it's very, very sour. So they say eat it with honey. Put a little honey in there, like cut it in half. Put a little honey, and with a spoon you can eat this fruit. Interesting. Okay. Continue. One should eat these fruits only in small quantities. So they're still good. I mean, if it's edible, they're still good. But why? But only what? In a small quantity. Okay. Small quantity. Small amounts during the summer and in a warm locales. Okay. Continue. There are a few exceptions to this rule. Figs, grapes, and pomegranates are always good for the body. One more time. Figs, grapes, and pomegranates always great to the body. Commentary. Many versions of Rambam substitute almonds and for pomegranates. Right, and it's today is very popular. It's this what is it? Almonds, right? They have almonds milk, almonds, I don't know, flour, almonds, I don't know, all these things from almonds. Okay, because they say it's very healthy. Okay, so continue. So figs, grapes, and pomegranates are always good for the body, whether they are moist or dry. Okay. And one may eat his fill of them. However, one should not eat them on a regular basis. Okay, even the grapes. Okay, you can. I would say the grapes that's sold in our stores, more than that, they're too sweet. They're so sweet. It's like, I don't know. That's too much. You cannot eat a lot of them, right? But they say what, and one may eat his fill of them. Okay, however, one should not eat them on a regular basis, even though they are best of all fruits. So okay, so on Shabbos maybe. Okay. So next one is 17. With regard to drinking, water is natural drink for a person, and drinking it is healthy for the body. So water, out of all of these drinks, this and that, so it's all good, but the best is water. Best is water. If the water is pure and clean, it adds to the protection of the body's moisture and expedites the excretion of the bodily waste. Right. So you need to drink the water for digestion. But we learned in the Rambam. I don't remember. Did we say? Maybe we said here last time, but for sure we said in the Rambam. So when person is eating, don't drink a lot. Just maybe some like little quantity while you're eating. Right? Because why? Because it's going to dissolve the stomach acids, right? So that's not good. So after you finish meal, after the digestion already started and it's in process, I don't know how much in process, but then you drink as much as you want, but not before that. Okay. One more time. No, it's actually new material. When one drinks water, he should select cold water to quench his thirst and aids digestion more effectively than the water that is not cold. When we're saying cold, I guess it's a room temperature cold, especially in Kitzur time. I mean, Kitzur lived in Europe. I guess there were ice in Europe. They were able to preserve the ice from winter until almost the next winter, the way, if I remember it correctly. Right, but still nobody like would ice for water, I think. Okay. So they say it's. I think it's a room temperature. Okay. However, the water should not be exceedingly cold. Oh, here we go. As it is cause one's natural source of inner heat to become extinguished. That's not what we want. It's like when person eats the cold water, so the body has to warm up the water, right? And it's the body heat is going to get extinguished, as they say. So it's like it's not good. Even though you enjoy the cold taste and you enjoy it very much, but it's not good for the body. Most certainly, when a person is tired and weary, he should take great care to avoid drinking cold water. For when a person is exhausted, the tissue of the heart is heated. It's very interesting here. So when a person is exhausted, the tissue of the heart is heated and is softened due to the exhaustion and awareness. Under this condition, cold water can cause him harm to the point where he may come to danger, God forbid. So Kitzur is very explicit. He said that when somebody is tired, right, and his heart tissue is becoming soft, right, and he drinks this cold water, so he puts his life in danger. Not a good idea. although drinking water, so I mean, me personally, I'm trying to drink not to drink cold water. With ice, try not to, like very, very rarely. Just room temperature is quench the thirst the best. Continue. Although drinking water is good for a healthy body, nevertheless, one should still take care to avoid drinking excessive amount. So that's. So I remember working in the office, so people would drink like they would bring a gallon or something and drink like I don't know, like how can you drink the gallon or even half a gallon? That's too much, right? So the body does not need all of this water. Okay. Furthermore, one should not drink water before meal. Oh, here we go. Before the meal, because this will chill the stomach. Okay, and then it will not be able to digest the food properly. So we said actually before, in the last time or time before that, that person has to like warm up his body, right? He has to do exercise, walk a little, so to prepare his body for the meal. Right now, when he drinks this cold water, it's going to be like do the opposite. Okay, so one more time, because it will chill the stomach, and then it will not be able to digest the food properly, right? But we want the stomach to be warm, right? The body to be warm, to be able to process the food. When during the meal, even during the meal, one should drink only small amounts, exactly as we said, the water mixed with wine. Commenter. In earlier times, wine was produced in concentrated form and was diluted with water at the meal. So it was stored in this concentrated form and then diluted during the meal, which is good, right? So people who drink wine, right, because wine was more pure than the water. Most of the time, not always, but many times. Only once the food begins to be digested, one may drink moderate amount of water. Okay, so before meal, don't drink a lot. During the meal, a little. So, but when digestive starts, so you can drink moderate amount. I'm not sure when digestion starts. Maybe in 15 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Okay. Additionally, one should not drink water immediately upon leaving the bathhouse. Right, so you're going out of the shower. Don't start drinking water, so that his liver will become chilled. Commentary. After being exposed to the heat and the steam of the bathhouse, a sudden drop in the body temperature can result in injury to the internal organs. So you're hot. So people go to sauna, right? It's very hot in there. They go out and drink cold beverages, which is not good. As they say, you can damage your internal organs. Certainly, one should not drink while he is in the bathhouse, while his body is being heated. Introducing a cold substance into his body in this time can be harmful. Okay. Similarly, one should not drink cold water immediately after marital relations because the body is hot, right? Because then one's natural inner heat has been weakened. Mm-hmm. And in this weakened state, the cold drink may cause the bodily organ to drop below the normal temperature. So when your body is hot for whatever reason, so you cannot drink this cold water. Or somebody is jogging, right? Somebody exercise, he's bike riding, right? And he's very hot, so you're not allowed to drink cold water, right? Because of exactly these reasons. Okay. So see if number 18. Wine has the ability to strengthen one's natural inner heat. So wine is good, right? In moderate quantities, of course. It is also aids digestion, purges the excess of the elements from the body, and has the overall positive effect on one's health. So wine is very good, of course, in moderate quantities. However, one will enjoy these benefits only if he drinks moderate amounts. So overeating, over drinking, overdoing anything is not good. Okay, moderate amounts. One whose brain is weak, is in weakened state, should avoid drinking wine, for it will add to his weakness and fill his head with alcoholic fumes. So what does it mean? Commentary. That is, he's prone to headaches and often feels lightheaded. Right. So if somebody feels lightheaded, his or her head is spinning like. Right, so it's not stable. Sometimes you see the person cannot walk straight because not because he or she are drunk, but because they just stood up. They were sitting, stood up, and stopped walking. That's and they have something like some condition in their mind, in their head, right? So not good for these people. Drink wine. For others, yes. For them, no. Why? One more time, because this all was it weakness, and fill the head with alcoholic fumes. Not good. Wine is beneficial for older people, but is harmful for younger people. The reason for the danger is because wine arouses one's natural inner heat. Right. So for all older people, they always call that this. This inner heat, the arousing of inner heat is actually good, but for a young person who is full of energy, so it's not good, right? So one more time, the reason for this danger is because wine arouses one's natural inner heat, and will have the effect of adding fire to the existing fire. So commentary: the young people have strong natural heat, and wine can cause the body temperature to raise dangerously. So don't do it. Young people, don't do it. Therefore, one should be careful to avoid drinking wine until he is 21 years old, at which point it will no longer be harmful for him. So it's very interesting. There's a Kitzur, and of course Kitzur. I'm not sure more. Most of the stuff I think he took from Hilchot Deot, I think, but some are from other sources. So basically, we had this knowledge about 21 years old, like for forever, I think, right? And but in many countries they would allow to drink from, I think, started from 18 or from 16, don't know, like from different countries. Right, but just recently, many raised their age to 21. Right? Even though the Torah says it clearly. Continue. In Jewish families, kids drink, but kiddush wine. It's a little. It's not like they drink a lot. It is proper to drink only small amounts of wine before meal. Okay, in order to cause the intestines to be receptive to the food one will be eating. Okay, so to create the appetite, right? However, one should not drink wine when he's famished, nor after bath or sauna, or any strenuous exercise. So same with water, like water is a little different, but wine is, I don't know, he now, like when a person is tired and now he drank wine, he become a little tipsy, so basically it's not good. Additionally, one should drink only minimal amount of during the meal. Okay, so just 1 second, let me check time. Okay, we have time. During the meals. Okay, halacha number 19. A person should eat only when he's hungry and should drink only when he's thirsty. So it's opposite to today's society. Why people eat? People eat because they're bored, right? When Corona started, like everybody were buying like 7 times more food. Like, why? What is the difference? Why do we need all of this food, right? So, and they explain, right? Psychologists, I think, explain when people are bored, they have nothing to do. So they, I don't know. I'm talking to not religious people, right? Not Jews. So they would stay home. They did not work. They watched TV. They did whatever they did, play on the computer, and they eat constantly. Eat. So that's what Halacha says. Do not only eat when you need to eat. Right? Person should eat when he's hungry, and he should drink only when he's thirsty. Right? I mean, okay. So not to drink just because you have nothing else to do. Okay. When one feels the need to relieve himself, he should not delay even for a moment. It's very important to relieve ourselves. As we said before, if somebody prayed Shmona Esrei, why he wanted to go to the bathroom, so it's Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says they call it abomination, right? It's like he sacrificed for the idols. Basically, that's so it's better not to pray Shmona Esrei. And I think some poskim will say about Shema the same concept. So a person has to check himself before the prayers, right? So they say do not delay even for a moment. Additionally, one should not eat until he has checked thoroughly to raise any doubt that perhaps he might need to relieve himself. And I would say, especially in the olden days, when bathrooms were outside, and in the times of Gemara, they were, and after that they were like outside of the city limit. So basically, if you want to go to the bathroom, so you would have to walk, 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes, right? It would be long walk. So if a person would start eating and he had a little urge, and now we just go up and go there, and 20 minutes one way, 20 minutes going back and there, and maybe snakes and maybe scorpions and this and that. So he would say, okay, maybe I'm going to go later or tomorrow. So that would be a problem. So they say before you start eating, go and see maybe you can relieve yourself. So, but today, I mean, with our bathrooms, when you have indoor plumbing, so it's a little easier. But still, check yourself to make sure that you don't need to relieve yourself. And another explanation would be that we're not allowed to pronounce HaShem's name when our body is not clean. And what is body is not clean? When you want to go to the bathroom, so your body is not clean, basically. Okay. So halacha number 20. A person should always endeavor to ensure that his bowels always be relaxed, close to loose bowels. Okay. So meaning, like a practical example would be, or example or advice. So if you see that some food causes you constipation, so don't eat this food. Maybe it's good for everybody else, but for you it's not good. So that's it's not good for you. So for you it's forbidden food, as Rambam says, right? That his bowel should be relaxed, close to the bowel. Okay, one second. Let me meet somebody. Oh, so excuse me. No problem. Okay, continue. This is fundamental concept in the field of the medicine. Anytime the passage of the body waste is abstracted, or when there is a difficulty avoiding the bowels, harmful illness will ensue. So when person cannot go to the bathroom, that's a big issue. That's such a big issue that all of the harmful things, all of these poisons are going to stay in the body. The longer they stay in the body, the more damage they're going to do. Right? So that's the problem. So as we said, avoid eating all of these foods that create these issues. Therefore, when a person sees that his bowels are weakened and they no longer have the ability to properly excrete waste, he should seek advice of the doctor. So go to the doctor, don't be a big hero, right? As to how the bowels can be relaxed. The solution to this problem will vary according to the constitution and age of the individual. So I think it does not say. Rambam said that you have to go back and forth, walk a little, sit up, stand up, do some exercise, bend down, and after some times, it's actually should help.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the previous one, is for that reason that prayers are first, and after that you can have breakfast.
I didn't get what is the connection to what we said. We said, can you explain me the connection so I can
because if we are having breakfast before prayer in the morning, then the body is going to produce impurities.
The waste. Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Waste.
It's good that I asked you because I didn't draw the connection. Okay, it makes sense. No, the reason not to eat before the prayer is different. So it said the person should not be arrogant. So usually when the person is hungry, he's very, very, very humble. But when he just ate a great meal and you see that people, they just finish eating, they're very loud, they laugh loudly and stuff like that. So why? Because the food brings them arrogance. But when you don't eat, especially, so I mean, they say if you need something to eat for the sake of the prayer, right? So if you can concentrate better, if you drink coffee, of course, you must drink coffee, right? You must drink tea, whatever you need to drink. You want to drink? Do you need to drink water? Because otherwise your throat is dry. I mean, of course, you go drink the water. There is no problem. But something like substantial, something like mezonos, some like cakes and cookies or bread, that's too much. You understand? But if a person is sick, he's weak, and he cannot start praying, so of course he has to say morning blessings, say Shema Israel. Of course he can eat. There is no problem. I mean, if he would not be able to concentrate, because he's weak, he's fragile. So what is the purpose of this praying? You understand? So in this case, he would be allowed to eat in small quantities. Got it? Continue? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So continue. Okay. So halakha 21. Moderate exercise is beneficial to maintain healthy body. Okay. However, excessive exercise as well as excessive rest can be harmful for the body. So it's very interesting the way he put it. So exercise is good, like wherever you need to, right? Especially if you like office job. You have some office job, you sit in front of the computer, or you do something like sitting down. That's it's very bad for the body. So you have to exercise a little, not a lot. Whatever you need to do, walk maybe a little longer. And excessive rest also not good. So everything has to be in a balance. And so same with rest. So if you need, some people need 8 hours to restore it completely their health, right, to their strength. And some people can sleep 5.5 hours. They're okay. Maybe they're a little tired, but they can function. So it depends on the person, right? So for this person who can sleep 5 hours, 5.5 hours, let's say, and he's okay, sleep 8 hours, it's a waste of time. You understand? It could be harmful. So I know, like every time that I sleep, like especially on winter nights, on Shabbos, when you go to sleep, so like sometimes it's 9 hours. Sleep 9 hours. So I mean, to say that I'm more refreshed that when I sleep 5.5, I don't think so. You see, so because body got used to that one, so it is harmful. During the hot season, one should exercise only minimally. I think in the summer, you see, like in the summer, people are jogging like it's crazy, like they're sweating. So it's not healthy. It's unhealthy. And during the cold, during cold season, more exertion is necessary. So when it's cold, so do more exercise, maybe more bending down. I mean, whatever you do. Like there are many free exercises. You don't have to pay anybody. The overweight person needs more exercise than a thin person. So thin person, he's okay. I mean, his body most likely. I mean, if it's not thickness, some people have sickness. The body cannot keep the weight, basically, right? That's the sickness. But otherwise, it's person that thin does not need exercise as much as a heavy person. But it's usually people do exactly opposite. So this heavy people do not exercise, and these thin people, they exercise 7 times more. And they think that they're such fit people because they exercise. Okay, continue. So let's do one more. CF22. It is well known that one state of mind is direct impact or fix his physical health. So what does it mean? So Rambam explains that why do we have to exercise and take not only exercise, take care of the body, because when person is sick, he cannot perform the mitzvahs. It's very hard for him. Right, so if we want to be close to HaShem, so we have to do everything possible to keep our body as healthy as possible. So at least, of course, HaShem sends everybody the health, and it's not person's fault. Many times, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So, but at least, as we said, avoid these harmful foods. If they say don't drink this cold water, so don't drink this cold water. If they say exercise a little, so exercise a little. You understand? So that's what we must do. Because why? Because our physical condition affects our mind. That's for sure. I mean, if a person is pain, his head aches or body aches, so he cannot concentrate on anything. He cannot concentrate on learning Torah, not on anything. Like I mean, it's very, very pitiful, but that's what it is. So that's why our sages say, take care of the body from the youth. Here, Kitzur elaborates about relationship and describes how achieve the ideal balance between body and mind. Here we go. One who wishes to protect his health needs to be aware of his emotions and to be careful that they do not have the negative effect on his well-being. So these emotional people, and sometimes like I have to deal with these people, so they jump from one extreme to another. They get emotional, very excited about one thing. Okay, so very nice, very good. It's good for you, and then get depressed and go like exactly opposite, and then exactly like to the original point. So basically, all of this excitement, right? They're not good for the body, and they're not good for the soul. They're not good for spirituality, right? Included in these emotions, happiness. So when person too happy. So when person is too happy, so I remember when I was little, so my mother used to tell me, stop laughing because you're going to cry soon. I was a little boy, right? And always she was right. So something would happen that would upset me or somebody in the family, so I would start crying. Very little boy. I don't remember how old I was, but it was always. And then he would, or she would say, other people would say to other kids, and that's exactly as it was. But they too excited to this, to that, so it's going to bring them to crying. right? So happiness is not good. So when you see people very happy, they're always laughing, so you must know that they're depressed or they're on drugs or something is going on. It's not natural. Then anxiety. So it's also not good. So anxiety, and also the people with anxiety. So for other people who do not understand, they think they're crazy, they just seeing things, but it is true. It is true. Whatever they see and they feel the pain, they go through this anxiety, and it's very painful to many times you cannot actually help the person. You feel the person's pain and you want to help that person very, very much, but it's only your help is only limited, right? Next one is fear. Also, the fear is a killing the person. So Talmud says when somebody is scared, so his body temperature dropping. It's like very physically. He wants to go to the bathroom, right? He starts shaking. The whole body is affected from the fear. So fear is psychological, but it's affected the whole body. All of which are feelings rooted in workings of the soul, right? All of this. So one more time: happiness, anxiety, anger, and fear. An intelligent person should be happy with his lot all the days of his futile life. Commentary. This is the reference to the verse of Kehelis, right, 6:12, where Shlomo HaMelech describes life as the short span of futile existence. Short span of futile existence. And I see my life, I see it's Friday, it's Shabbos, and weeks are flying so fast. Sometimes I have to check what date is today to see what we are learning. It's unbelievable, right? With this dismal assessment of life, of life of this world, he exhorts us to prepare for the world to come. And the life is very short. Be ready for the world to come. Here, Kitzur urges the readers to shun worldly pursuits, so to stay away. Hence, the characterization of this world is futile. So stay away from worldly pursuits. Do what you must do. He should not be worried about this material world that in any event is not his, right? Nor should he seek luxuries. One should be in a good spirit, in motherful, joyful. Okay, so don't people spend so much time on these luxuries, and I could never understand it. It's like every time we fly to Israel, right? So we try to get the cheaper tickets. Sometimes we would have to purchase 3-4 months in advance if you want a good price and good seats. Good price and seats, the combination, right? And then you come and you see that the first class, it's full, completely full, and the first class, I know the prices. They paid sometimes 5 or 6 times more than I paid. 6 times for 9 hours flight. It's crazy. So, and it's full. So people like luxuries, and they burn their money, burn their life. I mean, if they're very rich, of course, but for me, it's still a waste of life, waste of money. The advantage of the maintaining such an attitude is that increasing one's natural inner heat aids digestion, right? So, meaning when a person is happy with his life, okay, HaShem sent me this. So if he want, so the person has to think to himself, if HaShem would want me to be very healthy or very rich, he would make me very rich or healthy. It's not a problem for him. But if he put me in this situation, guess what? He wants to test me in this situation. That's the goal, right? It's like that's this job assigned to me. Other people assign different jobs. Let them work on their jobs, right? But I have my own job and have my own purpose, this life, and I have to be happy that I do whatever I do and make HaShem happy to withstand his test. right? One should be in a good spirit and moderately joyful. The advantage of maintaining such an attitude in that is increasing one's natural inner heat. So when you when we say when somebody is has this anxiety, so she's always cold, hands and feet always cold, right? So, but if not, increases in natural heat, aids digestion. Also, all of this anxiety and indigestion, they come together as a package, and expedites the excretion of the excess portion of the food that has eaten, because everything is working in a perfect balance, right? It's good. Additionally, it strengthens one's eyesight, also very useful, along with the rest of the senses, and strengthens the power of intellect. So it's very, very important, this power of intellect. One more time, when somebody has a peace of mind, right? Peace of mind. And it's peace of mind is a choice. When a person can have or don't have, it's his free choice, right? Kitzur now describes the potential dangers of 4 emotions mentioned above. However, one should not rejoice by eating and drinking. So some people, like before the meal, they sound like excited, talk very loud, laugh, they get very excited before, when we anticipate the food. He's as a habit of the fools. For excessive joy diffuses the heat over the surface of the body. Very interesting. So why? So Kitzur is very practical, right? For excessive joy diffuses the heat over the surface of the body, thereby lowering the body natural temperature. So now the body has to work harder to increase the temperature in order to digest the food, right? This can lead to sudden drop of the temperature of the heart, causing it to fail, God forbid. And he may suffer a sudden and untimely death. Because why? Because he's very happy. Not good. And especially before the meal, right? Overweight people are especially prone to this danger. So the overweight people die usually younger than normal weight people, since their natural inner heat is less than it should be. Since the natural inner heat is less than it should be. Okay. The reason such people suffer from the lower body temperature is because their arteries are constricted, right? Because of all the cholesterol they eat, and their blood flow, which is the source of one's heat, is slowed, right? So that's not good to be overweight. Next one, anxiety is the opposite of happiness, and these two can be harmful. Anxiety causes the body to cool, and its natural inner heat can accumulate in the heart. That's a problem. Result in heart to failure and death. So all of these extremes, he's too happy, she's too happy, or too depressed, this anxiety. Anger arouses the heat of the body to the point where it can lead to the type of a fever. Fear cools the body. Okay, so we finish with anger. So anger raises the body. Fear cools the body, and therefore one who is gripped by fear will shiver due to the body drop of the temperature. So it could be very hot outside, but because of the fear, the person starts shaking, right? This can be very dangerous, for if the body becomes too cold, he may die, right? From we have sometimes that somebody died from fear. So what do you mean died from fear? Exactly what the Kitzur is saying, right? The body temperature dropped so much. Right, I remember when I was sick, so my temperature, the fever was dropping, I think, and I was shivering. I could not stop. Like under 3 blankets with a sweater in, I could not stop shivering. It's like shaking. Wow, crazy. So certainly one should take care to avoid eating when he's angry, fearful, or anxious, and that's exactly what people do. When they're anxious, when they're upset, what they do, they go and eat. How much? A lot. And eat only when he's in state of moderate joy. So when you're okay, right, then you eat. All right, so we can stop here. But not when you're angry or have anxiety. All right, any questions?
Here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are common health issues due to non-kosher food or to excess of mezonos food like noodles?
No, it's not kosher food. They create only like spiritual problems, right? Only spiritual. Some of them have a connection. For example, like people who eat pig, right? So it's known fact that pig are one of the animals that never sweat. So basically, it keeps all of this all the garbage that comes out when a person sweats. It keeps inside. So the meat is poisonous. But other things, like for example, not kosher cow, right? Cow not slaughter kosher. I mean, is it physically bad? I think maybe because the blood absorbed into the food and urine and all other waste, because they don't clean, also absorbed in the meat. Maybe that's why it's not healthy. But because of the mezonos, as we said, this sifted flour, this white flour is not good for the body, right? So if people can buy whole grain, it's much better than this one.
So it's but it's not definitively it's not a sin to eat.
No. What I always said here, that there is no sin to eat on one hand. On another hand, the sin is if he overeats or some, right? The sin is that that person would not keep his body healthy, and he cannot, as a result, will not be able to serve HaShem the proper way. That's like one leads to another. That's the issue basically.
So,
but all of these foods that we mentioned, they're all kosher. We're not talking about not kosher food. It's out of the question. We're talking about kosher food, but they're harmful. Go ahead, sorry.
Let's retake the question because my sister was telling me that some indicators were not so great, not ideal. So I told her maybe it's the non-kosher meat that you are eating. I doubt this excess of noodles, for example, because here in this country it's not so easy to have high quality food. So I told her maybe you should turn your diet, your eating habits to some closer to kosher food.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to balance, you need to eat vegetables, you need to eat fruits, so all this bread, so the mezonos things, so to balance. But what I always said, like old meat, right? I don't know, like this old cheese. All these things are not, or old big fish, they're not good. Basically, yeah, are they kosher? They're kosher. Are you going to die if you're going to eat them? No. But they eventually they're going to create the damage to the body for sure. Otherwise, they would not include it in halachic books. Understand? Go ahead. Yes.
So in the end, what would be the recommendation for Noahites? Would be better to tell them to eat kosher?
I mean, not necessarily. I would say the kosher, eat kosher. So you have to understand the kosher means that there is no animals in there, forbidden animals, right? So many, for example, pigments, right, or like paints, right, food coloring are produced from beetles, the bugs, right, and for the world it does not make any difference, right? But these people, I mean, it says it clearly in the Torah, don't eat all of these foods. We actually read in last week parsha, or this week parsha, I don't even remember, right? So don't eat all these foods, all of these bugs, all of these crawling things. But food industry actually use them as ingredients. So when you eat kosher food, at least you can be assured that you don't need these things. So just because you eat food without kosher certification does not mean that it's kosher. You understand? It does not mean that you don't have all these extra things added.
And other topic question if we have time.
Okay.
So if intimacy on Shabbos between wife and husband produce impurities, so then this couple is forbidden to daven or to go to the shul?
Why does it produce impurities? Can you explain me?
Because Leviticus it says some of the types of impurities, and some of them are produced when a husband and wife have intimacy.
Okay, so the way I understand what you're saying and what you're trying to imply. So when the seed comes out, so this seed is impure. Like after it came out, so it is a cause of impurity. So a man has to wash himself, of course, but otherwise he can pray. So with this seed on his body, he's not allowed to pray. He's not allowed to learn.
Yeah, that's the reason, because if this Shabbos, one or the husband or the wife cannot wash, I think.
Why? No. There's a cold water. Why Sam cannot wash?
Oh, I thought they couldn't wash bath.
No, okay. The whole body, rabbinically, you're not allowed to wash on Shabbos, yes. But part of the body, especially the dirty parts, of course, you're allowed to wash, 100%. You're allowed to use soap, but not bar soap, but liquid soap, you're allowed to use, yes. No problem.
Okay, so in the end, they would be allowed to daven without any problem.
Yes. But first wash ourselves, because we learned that the semen, the dry semen, right, the fresh semen on the body, it's compared to the excrement. And when somebody has excrement with his body, he's not allowed to daven, even if it's covered.
So it would be how much time would be to wait? Some time to wait specifically, or immediately after washing?
No, you wash any time you wash before you want to pray or you want to study. That's it.
Okay.
I would say, since it is called impurity, right? Do it as soon as possible, not to delay.
Okay. And after washing, no problem to daven immediately?
No. Immediately, yes, immediately.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. That's it? Okay, so let's stop here. So until tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll send text when we're going to start, a little later.